Wells Jones, welcome to the pseudo Reflekta podcast YouTube channel. I don't know what we're actually talking or what we're calling it right now. Um, but I'm absolutely thrilled that you've taken the time to talk with me today, and then hopefully talk with our viewers and our listeners. Because when I say that you have a litany of titles, that is even beyond, you have things beyond that I can even mention, because we don't have enough time to talk about all of the things that you have been involved with excuse me, throughout your entire life. I mean, we've got author, we've got actor, producer, veteran, which we are going to touch on today, senior trailblazer, and adventurer. I mean, that to me sounds like a modern day Teddy Roosevelt. And would you?
I'm taller than he is.
Okay, you're taller than most people.
Okay.
So I just
Uh,
generally thank you for your service, first of all, and probably first and foremost, as
yeah.
a veteran. And something that's very beautiful for us is that you are a member of our Soul team, of Reflecta's Soul team, and specifically handling veterans affairs and how that works with Reflecta, and how they can work with Reflecta to sort of establish their legacy through our product. So genuinely welcome to this, and I'm so thrilled that you're here.
Oh, Adam, thank you very much. To me, it's a very meaningful moment because today is Veterans Day, and it always catches me.
Yeah,
I woke up and the first thing I did was to text my son,
yeah.
who was Army Airborne medic in Bosnia,
Oh wow,
and
I
he
didn't know
was
that.
there. Yes, yes.
In the
Casey
90s.
will, yes, he will turn 50
Wow.
this February, but he is a 19-year, I guess it's 20 years now, first responder, LA County fireman. And but when he called me at 19 years old, and he was on his way to Milan to be a male model, runway model.
Wow. Yeah.
He's a handsome guy.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
sure.
like,
Well, I'm sure that runs in the family.
well, I took him into ICM, and then they said, no, you got to go over to such and such. And he ended up with a group, very well known modeling agency, and they loved him. They were sending him to Milan. He gives me a call just before going, and he goes, Dad, you might want to sit down. Okay, no drama, Casey. What's going on? He said,
Yeah.
I'm not going to Milan. I said, great,
Yeah,
great.
sure.
I'm done with that. And
Okay.
I said, sure. He said, and the other thing is that I've been thinking about it for quite a while. He said, both granddads, and I was going, ooh, military.
Oh, instantly you thought that instantly.
It,
Okay.
and he said, and Dad, I really want to follow your footsteps, but I'm not going in the Navy. I'm going to go Army,
Wow.
Army Airborne medic.
Yeah.
And I've joined, and I'll be shipping out in 2 weeks. And between now and then, I'm getting married. I started,
Wow.
and so it was to Anne Marie. No, no, Rochelle. He's celebrating this 26th of November, 30 years of being married to Rochelle,
Well, there you
three
go.
daughters. I wished him a happy Veterans Day today. It always gets a crawl. We both, it's quiet, but it's very meaningful
Sure.
because having served, and he served in a very different capacity than I did.
Yeah.
I was in Vermont as wanting to leave the whole time I was in Vermont in high school. It
Huh.
was just because I had a taste of what it was like over the horizon. I'd gone to an encampment for citizenship. There were people from all over the world. I came back home at 15 to, start school again
Sure.
that fall. And I realized there was 29 people at the time in my class.
Yeah.
That was 5 towns
Oh, sure. In rural Vermont, I'm sure
and
that was. Yeah.
very rural. And this is 1970.
Yeah.
And so I went to my mom and I said, hey, Mom, I'm leaving.
Wow.
Where are you going? I said, I can live with Charles. You're going to go to Harlem and live in Harlem. Uh, well, he asked me, he said that I could. I said, it's too much here. And she said, now, wait a minute. If you can't handle where you are in the moment, You have no business putting a foot forward.
Yeah.
And stop commenting on everything. Look around you. Tad was the nickname she gave me.
Sure.
Look around you. This is New England. Now, you don't have to live here for the rest of your life, but learn about these people, learn
Yeah.
what these lives are about.
Hmm.
And so it was my first round of adapting, learning how to adapt. And it just, the military service, when it came time to, I was graduating and there was no way I was going to go to college. I was not interested. I was going to, Jack Kerouac, I was going to film. I don't know what I was going to do.
Yeah.
She said, I think it would be a smart idea. Vietnam War had just ended.
Okay.
She said, I've always seen you as a Navy man. My father was an officer in the Army.
Sure.
Her father, her brothers, and then eventually, my son's mom and their military everywhere. And I said, I never thought about that. She said, well, why don't you think about it?
Yeah.
I see you flying jets. This is 1973, and I'm going,
Yeah.
jets?
Right.
Jets? Really? You do?
I
She said, I see you in white, all white uniform.
yeah, pre Top Gun, just
Ah,
going. Yeah, that's amazing. And so you did. Obviously, you enlisted,
I
and
I did, and I thought this I'm going to go. Now, one
mhm,
of the things that I found out as a senior, a couple of things. One, I found my senior motto, which was one man with courage makes a majority. That was essential to me. Now, I'm talking about this because I really grew up without a dad. My father was an officer in the Army. I was born in Germany.
mhm,
I had all my siblings, there were five others, born on Army bases.
yeah.
And at 11 years old, I had just turned 11, a brother born on my first birthday, 10, sisters 13, another set of twins, 8 years old. My father took his life.
Oh, so sorry.
And it was July 26, 1966.
Yeah.
And my mama said that the demons from Korea
Oh wow.
and the things that he went through growing up, the
Mhm.
combination, he just had no other direction he could go.
Yeah.
She loved him, but I still grew up without a dad, so adapting was essential.
Yeah. Sure.
And being in such a rural area, Adam, I didn't have male mentors.
Mhm.
There were people that I worked with. Well, I actually did have mentors in a way, and individuals that I looked up to, and I worked and
Sure.
skied.
Mhm.
But the military, that along with a Churchill quote that has to do with it says that there comes a time in everyone's life when they're figuratively tapped on the shoulder and
Okay.
asked to do a very special thing
Yeah.
fitting for them.
Sure.
And what a tragedy if that moment found them unprepared
Oh, interesting. I love that.
for that which could have been their finest hour. And so early on, I was a dreamer
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah.
And spent a lot of time in the fields and the rivers and the mountains, alone, always alone. And that tap on the shoulder, that is what I have attributed to the many different opportunities that I've had because my career portfolio isn't lined up with one thing.
Yeah.
But what it is a part of is what I received
Sure.
in my formative years in the Navy.
Of course. Yeah.
And it worked out. So I was assigned to an outfit that had just moved to Point Mugu, California.
Oh, I've driven
Cal
past there. Yeah.
Sure, right
Yep.
north of Malibu.
Yep.
It's Point Mugu Naval Air Station. Now, I'm coming from Vermont, where the mountains are, 1,500 feet, 3,000 feet, and
Sure.
then no ocean,
Yeah, you're right on the ocean there. Yeah. That's
and the ocean there, and then the mountains further north skiing in California. And the outfit that I was assigned to was assigned to flying for the National Science Foundation,
oh, okay.
scientists
Yeah.
around Antarctica. And so even when I got my orders, the two chiefs that were handing out the orders, they were reading, Diaz, you got a sub. You're going to be leaving on such and such. Blah blah blah. Jones, good God.
No way.
and he turned it upside down. He showed it to the other guy,
Yeah.
turned it upside down, and they looked at each other and went, Cheech. And I said, what? Cheat? I'm thinking I was in kind of in the middle back of the room. I was going,
Sure.
what did he say? What did
Yeah.
he say? And he went through the list, picked up Jones. You're going to one of the most beautiful places in the world. I'm going, you're going to Chi-Chi. I'm going, what? Where is that? Christchurch, New Zealand, son.
Oh.
That's the staging base for your squadron that flies planes for the National Science Foundation. I'm going,
Yeah.
"Whoa, National Science Foundation in Antarctica. And I was just like, whoa, my head, my whole being, I couldn't, I thought it was a dream.
Yeah. That's amazing. So you were stationed in Christchurch.
I was stationed in Christchurch during the time of Operation Deep Freeze, which runs from October to February.
Okay.
And I was in A school in the fall. They gave me a lengthy uh, leave before I was assigned to Point Magoo, which was after the first of the year. I went into service in July, and by January 7th, I was walking in the door of Antarctic Development Squadron 6, but they were gone. They were on the ice. And this
Oh,
is just a
wow.
detachment. I
Sure.
was going, it was so quiet, it was cold, it was raining, it was California. It was like,
Yeah.
this is everything's new as a kid, but I was up for it.
Yeah. Oh, of course, that
Bus
time.
rides, planes, just being aware, being alert, and
Sure.
showing up. And so a guy said, well, you should go to the enlisted men's club, talk with some of the guys.
Yeah.
Going,
Yeah. Good to
all
know.
right. I really wasn't even a big drinker or anything. And I said, okay, I better figure out where that is. And sitting across from a guy, and he's sitting there back in his chair like this, and he's got these wings on his chest.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, what's that? He said, parachute wings.
Yeah.
Parachute wings? For what? I'm a member of the Antarctic Parachute Rescue Team. I said, no way. He said, you interested?
Yeah.
I said, yeah.
And this is day
Six
one.
months.
Or
This
the,
is, yeah,
yeah.
the night. I just that evening.
Wow.
And there was a parachuting rescue team assigned to the squadron, and it
Sure.
was because of the number of mishaps, the planes that went down. And I trained starting first with skydiving,
Yeah.
and it was just beyond belief. And it's interesting because where I made my first few jumps. It's Paris Valley, California.
Hmm.
Paris skydiving right now is one of the premier, in California.
Oh,
It's like
interesting.
the
Okay.
ranch.
Yeah.
And back then it was really just graded graded desert and a
Yeah.
couple of planes,
Sure.
and there was a little hut, and there was a little hangar, and that was it. And now it's a full blown,
Right. Yeah. I bet you
massive.
wish you'd had that back then rather than this.
I had no idea what other than what I was getting.
That's
So I was a
amazing.
part of the rescue team, and people ask about experiences. Yeah, many.
Sure.
I felt I was so ready for it, and the people I was with were too. It
Yeah.
turns out that they were pretty much everyone, certainly the pilots and the officers, were handpicked for the duty because
Yeah.
of the hazardous duty nature of it. Antarctica is just one vast, expansive mass of snow and ice.
Sure.
And there it is an isolation that you cannot even conceive until you're there
Right.
and you see how small you are
Yeah. Of course.
and how vital interdependence is needed.
Oh,
Connection.
I can only
Without,
imagine. Yeah.
without that, that is your survival.
Sure.
Are the individuals that you're looking right eyeball to eyeball with,
Yep.
especially on the team. And I loved that. I loved there was plenty of humor. I mean, it got wild because we were isolated for 4 months. It got pretty crazy, but it was always, in keeping with whatever it was we were doing.
Mhm.
But it was very serious. And the training was, 19, 20, 21 years old
Yeah. Oh my
and
gosh.
jumping free fall out the back end of a C-130
Right.
or helicopters, going up to 15,000 feet, doing, 90-second delays.
Yeah.
That's in California.
Okay.
And
What
just
does that mean,
working,
Tad? I'm sorry.
it
Well,
means you jump out of that's fine. You jump out of an aircraft,
sure.
and from that moment you jump out, it's 1001, 1002,
Oh wow.
1003. And so you get up to, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute,
Yeah.
90 seconds.
That's a long
That
time to
is
free
a
fall.
long time back then. Now
Yeah.
we're jumping and we're using equipment that is pre-Gore-Tex.
Mm. Right.
And it is like, think of Edmund Hillary
Yeah. I
and
mean,
the
like
pictures of
yak
Edmund Hillary.
fur or whatever. Just
It's an anorak
yeah.
and fox fur around the thing. It's just um,
Oh
get
my
out
God.
of the wind and then the cold as much as possible.
Sure.
Antarctica, it's zero humidity. Anyway, I know we're talking about veterans. I met the thing about focus on veterans
Mhm.
about being in 1973, 74 is that the Vietnam War had finished.
Yeah.
Cambodia kicked in. But what happened
Right.
with me after checking into Point Magoo and everybody came back
Yeah.
was meeting the guys because our outfit was all men. There were no
Yeah.
women involved. There were in a larger organization in Antarctica a few, and then the scientists would bring in assistants
Of
that
course.
were
Yep.
from Scripps Institute or places around the country, the
Yeah.
world, and it was meeting the guys that were circling back from Vietnam
Yeah. That's
and the damage,
yeah.
the scars, hearing about it,
Sure.
break your heart
Yeah. I can only imagine. It's
because you can see it on TV. You can see that iconic picture of the girl that's naked in the middle of the road screaming.
oh, with the
There's
napalm and all that in the background.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
but if you were there and you're telling the story after having too much to drink, you just turn into a mess.
Oh yeah.
And that happened with Juan Reyes. Juan Reyes was a part of our team. He was a ranger and he was
Okay.
reassigned after his injuries in Vietnam. And he didn't like me.
Oh, just
Didn't
because
like
you
me.
hadn't served in Vietnam or
Don't know.
don't know.
Sometimes tall, blonde, white.
Yeah.
You're the minority.
Mhm.
And parachuting and mountain climbing. And when he wore his dress uniform, he had so many medals on him that I mean, it was like seeing an admiral or a general that is just it's caked from
Yeah.
here to here, and it's all shiny,
Sure.
and it's all in a dress uniform. You're wearing the real metal,
Yeah.
and it's just dripping with things that are clanking and
Oh my gosh.
and Juan had a problem, and
Yeah.
it was all his time in Vietnam, and he would just go wild. Anyway, one night when he was completely inebriated, I was the one that came down the hall and helped him, got him in his room, and and he broke down, and he knew who it was,
Yeah.
Jones. He says, "I never liked you."
Hmm.
He just came right out, and he said, "But I do like you. I don't have anything against you." And he said, "You just don't understand. You don't understand."
Yeah.
And it was like he was telling me, it's like, you haven't been through it.
Yeah.
You don't know. And it's one of the things about being a veteran. It's weird.
Yeah.
Veterans stay quiet because they didn't die,
Yeah. Yeah.
because they didn't go through what Juan Reyes went through.
Yeah.
And he just talked about having to try and make his body disappear. And then the guy in front of him, an IED, it exploded, affected him. And fortunately, at the same moment, he was pulled out of there, but he was injured.
Yeah.
But it was him going through the trying to crawl to a culvert and trying to get in it because the VCs were coming.
Yeah.
And he was experiencing it in the moment.
Yeah. My gosh.
And that kind of a scar for him, while he had his issues. But
Yeah.
I'm just speaking of veterans that I met, Dan Pennington, who was a gunner in a
Mhm.
Huey,
Yeah.
and he's from the South. He's always talked like this. And a big old mustache like
I
this.
love it.
Go,
Yeah.
Dan, how are you? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm real good, brother. I'm real good. You know?
Yeah.
And he survived. These are the survive, ones that survived, but
Sure.
their level of survival is they're not the same person.
Yeah.
And so many lessons from the service and meeting people, and the lessons were in finding out who I was.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
do I have courage?
yeah.
What is courage? I
Hmm.
think it's the counterbalance to fear. Okay, cool. What is just capacity?
Yeah.
It's like, how far can you go? How much can you do?
Yep.
Or, what is situational awareness? How tired are you? The sun's up 24 hours a day in
Sure.
Antarctica. What time is it? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Are you ready
Yeah.
to jump? The call comes in. Are you going to, I stopped myself running down the hill to the helo hangar because I said, if you fall and roll down this hill and hurt yourself, you're not going to get on the rescue plane.
Right. Right.
It's ego. What's your ego? Check where's your ego?
Yep.
And
So
and I go ahead.
no, I'm just in curiosity, like looking back on that moment, who you were when you went into the service versus who you were at the end or during. I mean, that must have been night and day for you in terms of just being like, seeing the world or the bottom of the world and just, meeting these guys and really, you'd said earlier, like not really having that father figure, but now having these like guys that really, I don't know if they took up the mantle of a father, but having this like group together, I mean, it must have been so transformative for you.
I think more so a recognition of that after the fact.
Yeah,
It's like you could say, well, what did you take from your military service that you used for the rest of your life?
sure.
Everything,
Yeah, right.
everything, and it just grew. It's attributes that
Yeah.
grew. One of the biggest things was chain of command. It seems so simple, but what is the chain of command? You've
Hmm.
got this idea, you've got all these people going, yeah, yeah, let's do it, let's do it. Okay, well, what's the chain? What's the structure to this?
Yeah.
Look at Reflekta and how they're, it's finding its structure, and who in the military you have to know who's in charge. And then as a, this led into my producing end after acting.
Yeah,
What are the roles underneath you?
sure.
Do you have them there? Do you need a lighting designer? Do you need a choreographer? Do you need a band leader? Well, I thought the orchestra said, no, 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 no. You got to have a band leader and a this and a that, and
Sure.
figuring out the chart. And so when I've been tapped on the shoulder, I had to accept that they were seeing something in me that
Sure.
I could do.
Yeah,
And that was like my mother saying, stop commenting on it, live in the moment, and
absolutely.
fulfill what you're being asked to do fully.
Yeah,
You'll be
sure.
led to the next thing.
Yep. And
And
look at
so
your
that
son. His son is a same example.
absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, that's amazing stuff. That's truly
So
like, yeah. So were you when you were stationed in Antarctica as well, or were you leaving out of Christchurch to go to do these rescue operations?
okay, the the locations, our home base was Point Magoo.
Oh,
We were
okay.
there
Yeah.
for 8 months out of the year
Okay.
training.
Yeah.
Any vacations happened then, training.
Sure.
And so as a pararescue team, I mean, I went from being an office guy to getting assigned to sole pararescue team member, which was just phenomenal. And
Yeah.
so everything I did was around being in shape and being in running. I mean, back in 74, 75, 75, 76. I mean, running
Yeah.
and pushing and technical climbing. The first time I did, an overhang, the roof underneath. It was in Santa Barbara, near Santa Barbara. I could see the ocean way out there, and I was following Paul. and literally climbing across the roof, like the ceiling,
Yeah.
and then get to the edge and having to get up over it, but learning how to do that.
Sure.
Now, to doing that for the first time, it's like doing anything major physical for the first
Sure.
time.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was just, sitting in the saddle completely spent and saying, God, where's my strength?
Yeah.
And just, and it's like, you don't need strength. You just need to know the moves. You don't have to muscle it.
Right.
You have to use your body to get, I mean, you're upside down and getting up over
Yeah.
and just learning these things
Hmm.
and finding out that one can do it.
It's
That I
amazing
could
what
do
the
it.
body can do, right?
Sure.
When it's pushed in that direction.
It's the
Or
mind over matter. It's
yeah.
accepting the matter, but it's working from your thought.
Yep.
And that the thought is, without getting, this is what we used to say, did you eat your canned do?
Your canned do. Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, that's great. Hey,
You know,
I might have to use that with my
like
kids.
Popeye's spinach,
Yeah.
is a can-do attitude, and you
I
would
like
see
it.
that in reports on personnel reports. They have a can-do attitude. Well, I said, well, that's like having a canned. You're eating canned do.
That's
Anyway,
I love that. I love
just
that.
crazy stuff. But
Uh, so in terms of just kind of moving beyond that, I think
yes.
looking back and thinking about like um, your military experience and how did that shape um, your thoughts on memory and legacy and connection and it's sort of the values that are kind of central to Reflekta. Like, how do you hold on to those stories? How do you share the stories of the other people that you went through the military with? Like, how do you see yourself trying to hold on to those stories and share them with people, or are you actively recruiting people to use Reflekta? What's
Mhm.
how do you how has that shaped your current state?
Well, Adam, it's very new.
Yeah,
Not just reflective, but the storytelling,
yeah,
personal storytelling, because it never was something that I took the time to talk about
hmm,
until after writing the book with Miles Spencer, your co-founder,
hmm,
and um, and going on podcasts. And what people were interested in was the story. Like, what's your story?
yeah,
I mean, what's your story? You wrote a book about the Middle East based on a trek in the Middle East, but you were in Antarctica. Those are extremes.
yeah,
I mean, you're
very much
talking,
so.
it was like 118 in the desert. And how cold was it when you jumped at the South Pole? Well, there's a number of people say, yes, it was minus 59 degrees at the South Pole, outside temperature
Oh my
as we
God.
were flying in.
Yeah,
Okay. How was it over the South Pole? It may have been a little less. It may have been a little more. We don't know. It was cold.
yeah,
So why don't
sure.
you just accept that?
Yeah,
And I'm talking to crew chiefs that are going, oh God, really? He wants to know how cold it was.
yeah,
So, cold. Didn't
yeah.
you feel
I
it?
would hope so. Yeah,
You know. So um it's it's connection
yeah,
comes up first. Um, because connection is all about reflective.
mhm,
Connection in the service in Antarctica when there is undeniably nothing there to take care of you excepting you.
yeah,
There is nothing there excepting a continent that's as large as North America that is vacated.
yeah. And a
You know,
desert essentially. I mean, it's a frozen desert, right? It's
so there's no connection's not an option. It's survival.
yeah,
And I find that in the storytelling that I have done through podcasts, and I've done right around 50 podcasts,
great.
and in the act of telling stories like I'm doing with you, it has really connected so many dots
Yeah,
of, oh, that's how I was able to do this. or that's how we, family, children, wives,
Yeah.
it's as this has happened,
Sure.
but and grandchildren, it's how we survive.
Yeah.
And veterans, they're so quiet. I said
Right.
to my son, Casey, what
Yeah.
was it like in Bosnia? Yeah, Dad, and that was his answer. That was a while ago. It wasn't
Sure.
until a few weeks ago that I brought Ben, my two boys, here, and we spent 36 hours together. It was the first time. Just there were two different moms, but it's the
Yeah.
first time three of us without wives, children, grandchildren,
Love it.
nothing, just
Yeah.
us.
Great.
And we climbed the mountain and we did a spa and we ate
And
and
talked
talked
and
and
talked
talked
and
and
how
talked.
great to have that moment of connection with you guys. That's amazing.
And so that's when, and it came out of hiking a mountain here because I think it has to do with when you are in touch with your body and you feel the strain. I mean, you just get to the core of moving up a mountain.
Yeah.
And it came out of Ben. Casey didn't know. Ben's in tears, and he's a 42-year-old man.
Yeah.
He's not tears like it's just
Yeah.
it's emotional.
Yeah.
And Casey just very stoic, but he has such a heart. He's going, I didn't know, Ben. I just
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah.
And and he didn't look at me, but I said, Casey, you have all the things you're doing. You didn't need to deal with Ben, but it's the stories.
Yeah.
And Reflekta has that. And as far as veterans go,
Yeah.
I think you came up with this that more than 16 million veterans living in the United States who served in armed forces living in the United States today,
Right.
16 million, carry the weight of conflict and came home with stories that shaped not just their lives, but the life of our country.
Yeah.
A 2021 Library of Congress study on military affairs states, and we're talking about 16 million veterans, fewer than 5% of that 16 million have shared their service stories with family.
Yeah. It's shocking.
And
And
I get it.
well,
I never told my story until I started doing podcasts.
but why though? Is it a manly thing? Is
It's
it a military like we
not
just
worthy. I don't know. Not
Oh,
it's like
really?
it's there's a combination of things. It's like it's
That's
not for me. I mean, I have my military license plate and I got it about 10 years ago.
yeah.
But up until that point, I would never tell people I was in the military.
Hmm. Just
People were like, or just the vibe was like I didn't draw attention to that.
yeah. Interesting.
And draw attention to, skydiving the South Pole. I didn't until I was with Miles and a couple of his friends. They were special forces guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, we hear you've done some things. And I told them about my jump at the South Pole. And they go, you're a thin legend. I
Yeah.
go, what?
Truly.
To me, I'm going, no, I just did a jump at the South Pole. Come on, Alex.
Right.
Yeah, but how many others did it before you?
Right.
Six.
Yeah. So you're in an incredible minority. And
Well, that's true. But then again, the lessons I had to learn and I learned them quickly in the service two times where I was in mortal danger
yeah.
because of my ego.
Oh, wow.
My
Okay.
ego placed me there. And so storytelling for veterans allows the scars to be revealed. Now, the thing about Reflekta is that you're not telling the world.
Right.
You're telling your family,
Yeah.
your wife, your husband, your children,
Yeah.
your parents, if it's a living legacy. When there is a statistic of 5% out of 16 million have actually come forward and told their story,
That's
there are organizations that are set up to curtail the suicides
yeah.
from people.
Right.
And the big one right now, they call it moral injury. And what is the moral injury? It was the lead up and during and after pulling out of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
The Army Special Forces, the Green Berets,
Yeah.
had spent years creating relationships with the people that were being oppressed by the Taliban.
Yeah. And then,
And that took a long time to get that. That took seeing babies born, being a part of their lives,
yeah.
being, knowing families, knowing moms and dads and grandmas and family, how it's integrated in newborn, and then suddenly being pulled out of there. And of course, the Taliban knows
Yeah.
who the US forces have been talking to
Sure.
and who's been supportive of them.
Ugh.
And so that has been huge.
Yeah.
It's a quiet, no one knows, it's not talked about. It's not in the headlines.
Yeah.
And there's an individual that's particularly leading the charge on that. He's a lieutenant colonel, retired,
Okay.
Scott Mann.
Scott, man.
He wrote Operation Pineapple Express, which was his involvement in before and after getting as many Afghan allies
Yeah.
out of there. And we're talking about children,
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
young moms,
Ugh. Yeah.
dads, grandfathers, and grandmothers. Who goes? Who gets on the plane? What plane?
Hmm.
Well, how do they leave?
Right.
I haven't read the whole book, but it's a massive charge.
I'll have to
And
look
he
into that.
wrote a play,
Oh.
Bob Mann did. It's called Last Out,
Yeah.
a eulogy of a Green Beret.
Oof.
And it's his story.
I bet it's heartbreaking.
It's
It's
just amazing.
yeah. Oh my
And
gosh.
so being a part of that with Reflekta, it has all the it's born from the same truth. It's born about, an honoring memory, to
Yeah.
capture wisdom,
Yep.
humor, humanity, the life
Yeah.
remembered.
And almost serving as excuse me, as a release to like
Yeah,
to not have the burden on you and to release it into the world and to share it and to find comfort in other people knowing these stories.
yes. And I have to bring up legacy
Of
because
course.
I mean you mentioned it, and that's been a hard one for me to swallow.
Why is that? Just
Legacy was always some big shot.
oh
Legacy was not me.
yeah.
I don't have anything to show for my life like that. I don't have the accolades, the notoriety, the money, the possessions. I worked for it for a while.
Yeah.
And I realize through Reflecta, that's not what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I realized literally this morning, thinking about this, that, well, then what are you doing? And I said, I'm still involved with rescue. I
Interesting.
am rescuing people
Yeah.
to tell their stories.
Yeah. Oh
That's
man.
my mission.
Wow.
It's still
Yeah.
about rescue. And so that they can tell their story
Yeah.
and find empathy
Yep.
that builds connection. It's all about connection
Sure.
with the family, real connection, deeper connection,
Yeah.
and also with themselves,
Sure.
veterans, with themselves.
Yeah. Of course.
And it's just bridging
Yeah.
understanding, all adventure with purpose.
Yeah.
It's like
Right. Of course.
it's
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I feel like maybe obviously this is incredibly emotional and these these people have been through so much that they if they don't want to talk about it to their family, but their family I think generally wants to know, Reflected can almost act as that intermediary of saying, well, I'm going to talk to this, for lack of a better term, computer. And then my
Yes,
family can actually have that conversation with me without me even being involved with it from that end. So that
right.
you can kind of not have to bear the emotional weight of discussing with your family, but they can
Mhm.
know and you can know that they know. And I don't know if I'm saying that eloquently enough, but hopefully that we can provide some sort of solace and some sort of as I mentioned before, release for these people. Um,
I, I, that is the intention
mhm,
and the words to meet the individual where they are, to see the capacity of Reflecta. I mean, we're new with Reflecta, so this is something that we're reaching out.
sure.
But I didn't feel that I was had achieved a legacy,
I don't know about that.
and yeah,
Well,
and not feeling worthy. And I mean, to join that social category, like seeing it that way.
sure.
I had nothing to show for my time on Earth. I've done a lot of different things, so big deal. And I say that to myself, big deal, big deal, big deal. You know, I went skydiving on Sunday. It's my 101st jump,
Well, that's
and
very
I'm thinking,
awesome.
I'm glad I did it. I mean, I'm getting back into that for other reasons, which will come out
Of
through
course.
Reflecta. But I mean, what the heck? What have I achieved? And I go, yeah, people are going to go, oh, well, I wouldn't do that. And it's a perfectly safe area. I'm going, yeah, but that's not why I'm doing it. You know, there's a purpose behind it.
Sure.
But
You know,
I found that legacy becomes not what you leave behind, but what you leave within
hmm, love it.
others,
That's amazing. And that's your
others.
story and the impression you leave on other people. And
Right.
I love that.
And so, and it's protected with Reflective.
Yeah.
It's going to be my family. After spending that time with my boys, I have no doubt, even the way Casey responded
Yeah.
to me this morning, what he said, that there is respect, mutual respect,
Yeah.
and honor for who we are.
Yeah. Of
And
course.
that has come out of opening up and getting away from situations and just opening up a little bit,
Yeah.
like Ben did about his demons
Yep.
and having and working through them.
Yeah.
Ben is a successful um, film screenwriter.
Yeah.
And I mean, now he's writing what he will be directing, and
Oh,
he's
great.
working with, NBC Peacock, and he's working on a very lovely level with multiple projects,
I love it. Great.
and
Good for him.
but he's still able to tell his story to his brother, who has always looked up to and felt very intimidated by him, because Casey is just one man mountain Dean, and it's
Yeah.
not because he's loud; it's just because his presence is so powerful,
Yeah. For
and
sure.
he uses it. I mean, what he can carry and what he can do as a fireman, and what I've seen him. I've been on
Mhm.
rides in the middle of the night in LA and watch him go into fires. I've seen it.
Sorry to interrupt, but was he involved in like the Palisades and all that? Was he out there?
Yes, he
Yeah,
was.
of
He was
course.
there for 36 hours. His
Oh
station,
man.
there are four stations in Malibu,
Yeah.
and he was at one of the stations in Malibu, and it was just, and this is Casey. Casey, are you okay? No answer. Casey, what's going on? No answer, no answer.
Right.
Are you okay? And then finally I get 36 hours. It was nuts. And that's all he said.
Wow.
And
That
he's going to tell me
stoicism.
about
Yeah.
going into this place or going to that place. No.
Right.
And I I approached it one time. I said, do you think you'd have to see someone with all these gang shootings that you are a part of in South Central?
Right.
I mean, cleaning up the mess.
Yeah.
I mean, you tell it in a way that's actually humorous, but these are real lives and legs
Sure.
that were just,
Yeah.
machine gunned off, or drug people that have been there a few days with the needle still in their arm. And
Yeah.
does that affect you? And there's just, it is verboten to talk about
Right. almost for his own sanity, he probably needs to just, that's the
It was
job.
defensive. What do you think I can't handle it?
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's just he's wiser,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
it's really, the way Reflecta approaches the essence of the individual
sure.
and the protection around it,
Mhm.
because it is for your family.
Yeah. We're not
Now, if
looking
you
to
open it
exploit.
up to other people, that's your business.
Right.
But if you were to tell your story, dear veteran, and everyone has them,
Yeah.
it is you control who hears it and what you say.
Yeah.
But it's an opportunity. The statistics, the neuroscientists, the storytellers that are, talk about the incredible importance of storytelling and how it serves our whole communication system, our whole learning system is on storytelling.
Yeah. It's
And to be able to tell your own is vital. So
absolutely
your values, your voice, your laughter,
all of it.
your lessons learned,
Yeah.
often the hard way, it's okay to
Yeah.
open up. I mean, I opened up. It's only recently I've even opened up to say anything about my dad, that he
Yeah.
actually committed suicide.
Yeah.
It's been a shame.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's
I,
been something that I felt that made me less. My mother said, she worked for us not, we didn't have therapy back then.
yeah.
She just said, you must not take it, you know, as it's your fault, but it's still, you can't help. Each of us has handled it a different way.
Yeah.
And I would say maybe my way has been the healthiest.
Oh, okay. Well, I,
And there's been, very tragic
yeah.
stories of my siblings
Yeah.
and where they are this moment. And they're not jumping out of planes and they're not, you know,
Yeah.
they suffer.
Sure. Even today, even these,
Yes.
50 some odd years later, it's still, or gosh, 6 years later, it's
Mhm.
still powerful. Yeah.
It is, but it's going beyond, and that's what I've learned is that you focus on the mission
There you go.
and situational awareness, and there's no time. And it's like I said with my ego, those are the times when when I was in trouble in the Navy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on my way down.
Yeah.
It was, and I was saved.
Great.
And I don't need to get into the details of it. I have talked about it before, but
Yeah.
it's it's not important. All veterans have stories like
I'm
that,
sure they do. Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
And I find a lot of veterans are kind of, if you want to say humbled, but they're just not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I think that many deserve the opportunity to.
Absolutely. Wells, I really appreciate you coming on here, sharing everything. I mean, it's just you're an amazing person. I've always found you fascinating. We were
Mm.
at a conference a few weeks ago or a few months ago,
Yeah.
and a man came up to me and he said, "I was talking to Wells. Have you actually sat down and talked to Wells? He's phenomenal. He has
Huh.
done everything." So if you're looking for a legacy, you've left it on quite a few people, maybe more than you realize.
Okay.
But I mean, just the fact that you shared your story here and that you're sharing it on Reflecta and encouraging other people to share their stories, especially veterans on Veterans Day, is truly remarkable. And I know from the staff at Reflecta, we all greatly value your contributions, and we appreciate you
Mm.
so much.
It's great to be a part of it, truly. And it's what I see we're doing for, I mean, for seniors, is rescuing stories
Yep, 100%.
before it's too
Striking.
late.
Right.
And so, with my mission as a young man, I can tie that in very easily and commit
Sure.
with that intention.